Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Wednesdays are for the Nationals. Watch live coverage of the London Nationals home schedule on Rogers TV. Catch the action Wednesday nights at 7 p.m.
It's closing time, and you stayed out longer than you planned. So now you can't drive, and the buses have stopped running. You could always call your girlfriend. Or maybe your roommate? What about your best friend? You could just dial 1-888-TAXI-GUY or use the Taxi Guy app. The call and the app are free, and they both connect you to a local cab company to bring you home safely. Visit arrivealive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive, drive sober.
You're watching Rogers TV.
The Bulldogs run into Canada Life Place to take on the Knights. The OHL trade deadline is come and gone. Who went where? Brantford. London. Next.
Welcome to Hully Gully Yamaha London Knights Hockey here on Rogers TV. I'm your host, Sophie Bernier. After a very busy week in the OHL, the trade deadline has officially passed, and the Brantford Bulldogs are in town tonight to take on the London Knights. The Bulldogs won the last meeting against the Knights in Brantford by a score of 2-0 on December 14th, but they have a different lineup tonight as players have returned from their World Junior duties. Now on the London Knights side, they're coming off a 5-4 win over the Oshawa Generals, and with some new faces in the lineup, they'll look to pick up their first home win of 2026. Let's now take a look at our starting goaltenders, brought to you by Byron Optimus Club. Starting in net for the Brantford Bulldogs is Ryerson Leenders. He has a goals against average of .256 and save percentage of .0916. And in net for the London Knights, it's Alexei Medvedev. He has a goals against average of .304 and save percentage of .0897. I'll send you down to ice level now for the opening ceremonies.
And starting in goal for your London Knights, number 78, Alexei Medvedev. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good evening once again, and welcome to Canada Life Place. Tonight, the Ontario Hockey League community is mourning the loss of longtime commissioner, Mr. David Branch, who passed away on January 4th at the age of 77. His leadership of the OHL spanned 45 seasons, and his accomplishments and contributions to both the league and also the game of hockey are too numerous to list. Considered one of the great builders in hockey history, David was an advocate for the players first and foremost, and it gave him great pleasure to see young players pursue their goals. He was a pioneer in prioritizing player welfare, championing initiatives that addressed player safety, mental health support, and educational advancement. His dedicated service to the Ontario Hockey League and his community will be greatly missed. David is survived by his sons Barclay, Kyle, and Wade, their mother Charlene, his partner Patsy, his stepchildren Brent and Brenna, as well as his grandchildren. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as you are able, we would ask that you please rise and join us in a moment of silence and remembrance and respect for Mr. David Branch. Thank you. Excalibur Insurance is the proud sponsor of the London Knights Anthem program. Once again, we would ask that you please rise and remove your hats for the singing of the Canadian National Anthem to be performed by the students of Cedar Hollow Public School.
And welcome to downtown London and Canada Life Place. It's the Brantford Bulldogs and the London Knights for the second and final time in this regular season. And trade deadline, Doily, is long past now by about 6 hours, by the way. Lots of trades this year, over 30 trades, and Brantford and London was a big part of it.
Well, in the past 6 weeks, Brantford have traded 2 players away and brought 3 players in. Over that same 6 weeks, London has traded 5 players out with 2 players coming in. Now that much player movement can be a distraction. Now both teams need to focus on the task at hand. The Bulldogs are 2 points back of Ottawa for the top seed in the East. A very young London team now is 12 points up on the 8th seed Saginaw Spirit. Focus will be required as we head into the stretch drive in the Ontario Hockey League season.
Boy, oh boy, I mentioned 30 trades since January 1st, a very busy trade season. The Brantford Bulldogs hosting the London Knights back on December 14th. They won by the tune of 2-0. So they'll be looking out to record another win. London coming off a win from the Ottawa Generals last Sunday afternoon. Brantford winning against the Niagara Ice Dogs on Wednesday night. Glad again you could join us for Holly Golly Yamaha Night Hockey. Live from London, right here on Rogers TV, as Banach will wheel in across the line. He gets stood up, knocked down, and played down the boards. And Bruce Devich will find the man in Fimis. Fimis out through to center ice. He'll lob it into the corner. Juracek hard around the boards, and Brantford will have a chance to clear the zone. They're making forward changes. It's touched up back to Protz, and he'll swing it over to the far side. Juracek again, part of that Czech national team, played over on the wing, hard off the boards, courtesy of Nut. And it's set back in deep and smothered up by Leenders, and it'll hang on for the first stoppage of this hockey game.
Well, Will Nickel, a 7th-round pick of the Edmonton Oilers a couple of years back. He's just stepping back into the lineup. This is his 4th game back. He got things underway in Oshawa last week. He scored his first goal this season.
Van Dude, former Oshawa General, in behind the net. Plays it over to the corner, but London will pick it off. And the Bulldogs mark back the other way. And across the line is Van Acker, touched up at the line again. Dervatsky keeps it into the corner, played up on the boards, and Kober will wheel it out to the line. That's about it. Praska in from point-blank range, and boy, Medvedev up with a big save.
Well, the Duramed keys in tonight's game for Brantford, it's the power play. The league's top power play runs at a 34% efficiency, and for London, it's focus. 19-year-olds traded out this week, including captain and the assistant captain. Focus on the task at hand and keep the game simple tonight.
Great opportunity for the Knights to grow, of course. London winning a Memorial Cup, 2 OHL championships, and an OHL final against the Peterborough Peaks. Started this roll off. Swung over here on the near side and tracked down by Manock again, and he'll just have it onto his D partner. Played over onto the wing, picked off by Bidgood rather, sailed up off from the boards, and Brantford will track it down deep in their own territory. Deuce off the clock here. Left side pass. Manock again gets crunched up against the boards, courtesy of Van Bommel, rimmed around the dasher, and Waslin will clear the zone. Here comes Bidgood, in across the line, quick shot off a stick, and out of play.
Well, a little bit of heat on the game already. December 14th, these two teams hooked up, and the Bulldogs took a 2-0 victory out of that contest. So both teams getting used to new lineups in tonight's hockey game. Certainly the London Knights did a lot of trading at the deadline. The Bulldogs, they were involved as well. They really stocked up for a run at that Eastern Conference Championship.
They certainly did. Jacobs, who first shift as a London Knight, picks it up, struts his way down the board, centering pass, hits his skate. Now tallied off to the corner again. London's Cook with it. Swings it in behind the net for Hawkins. Back to Cook. He's a pass. Then he rips that one around the boards, and Buck has it again. He'll slide it around the base of the boards. A little tab job out front. Picked off by the Bulldogs and kept in by Zakharov. Zakharov, Cook had to get turned around, and Brantford out through the center ice. Off the boards. Hawkins, the overagers. Back down into London ice, and Hawkins will lead it up. Leads it through to center ice. Cook in across the line, gets checked up. Hancock got it out through to center ice. That's about it. And Tisherna will wheel it back in across the line. Holmes with a shot, and he got that one off a stick, high and wide, and more shenanigans. Yeah, you mentioned it, Rick. A little heat to start this one off.
Well, we get a shot of Brady Clark, 11 goals now in a London Knight uniform. He really came alive in the month of December as Clark came over from the NCAA program this past summer. This is his overage season in a London Knight uniform.
Pacat, Luchenko, former Guelph Storm players in the Brantford lineup. Not back out there. He's a Minnesota pick. Brantford with 11 drafted players on this squad. 5 of them first rounders. There's a quick shot by Bruce Stevich, high and wide off a glove, and back the other way. The Bulldogs will work their way in across the line. High slot pass in for Luchenko, broken up by Nurmi, and Nurmi has the puck again. Too far for him. Ryan Brown in across the line. Pacat will get crunched up by Nurmi and is played over to Juracek. Juracek into the corner. Luchenko trying to help him out. Set free, and now the Bulldogs back the other way. They have numbers. Props will just rinse it in deep around the base of the board. Van Gorp off the bench, trying to clear it, and Timmis will just dab it on to his D partner. Here comes Will Nickel. Picks his way to the Brantford blue line, trying to bust his way through the D. Nickel round the boards, in behind the net. Nickel mops it up again, torches it back to the blue line. Quick shot from the point, knocked down, and Brantford's Van Acker back the other way. Van Acker, quick shot. He got that one off the crossbar post. And the Chicago first rounder almost had the Dogs up by 1. There's another quick shot, courtesy of Van Gorp this time. And Ryan Leenders making the save.
Well, Ryan Leenders was a 7th-round pick of the Buffalo Sabres in 2024. Now, he skated in main camp this past September. Leanders has the 8th best save percentage in the league at .916 and the 7th best goals against at 2.56.
Saw a couple good looks at both ends of the ice. 4.5 off the clock here in the first period. Big crowd here again at Canada Life Place, 9,000 plus. Played back to the blue line. It was with the shot off those lively backboards here. Sent to the corner. Centering pass out front again. Big good trying to track it down. It goes on to the blade of the Bulldogs. They center it right in front of their own net. Almost picked off by Big Good. And he'll squeeze it to the corner. In behind the net it goes. And go. Gets it to the line. That's about it. Off to the wing. Big Good front of the net. Van Bommel will anchor right in that slot area. Now he's taken out in behind the net. And now the Brantford Bulldogs will squeeze it back out through to center ice. Horta and across the line, leaving it to the right side. Knocked down by Fimis on a good play. And it's squeezed back out through to center ice. And Bulldogs will have to regroup, making changes. Prox deep in his own territory. That'll give way for London to make some changes. Funk and Zoo playing on the back end for Dale Hunter's Knights. Bulldogs again. Lead pass for Holmes off his stick. And out of play.
Well, Linus Funk, a 4th-round pick of the Colorado Avalanche. He steps into a London lineup now that has many changes during the course of the season as he's trying to get used to the North American game. But Funk, one of the stalwarts on the back end now for the London Knights. A lot of experience in half a season for Linus Funk.
Yeah, he's adapted well. On the D for the London Knights, that rolls in and more heat off that high post.
Well, it seems these players are coming together after every whistle. There's not a whole lot to explain for that, as Juracek has played at the World Junior Championships the past 2 seasons. He won a bronze medal with Team Czechia 2 years ago. He won a silver medal this year.
Bensky been on that squad as well this year. Played over to the wing, and Zoo has it for London. Funk gets it up the boards, gets knocked down by Holmes, and Cook will bring it in across the line, layers the pass on the left side and behind the net. Zoo up on the play, back to the blue line. Funk has it again, shoots it toward the net, knocked down, chance for London's Cook. He'll fade off to checking a one-man. Cook, high slot, keeps it in. He fired that one just wide in the centering pass. It's escaped and goes onto the blade of Holmes. We'll get it out through to the center ice area, broken up by the Knights and Cook again. A long shift will lay it onto the blade of Hawkins. Quick shot, and Leanders will lean into it and give way to Sandu. He'll take refuge deep in his own territory. Here comes the Bulldogs, and across the line. Janko trying to go coast to coast. He's a Philadelphia's first rounder. Off the tip of his stick, and Brantford will have to pick it up deep in their own territory. That's Stravinsky in across the line. Quick shot again off the stick and out of play. Scoreless draw partway through the first here in downtown London.
Culligan Water has been London Region's trusted source for drinking water systems, water softeners, and problem water solutions for over 85 years. Cleaner, better water for you and your household is easy and more convenient than ever. Culligan, water you love. At The Hearing Place, we transform lives with personalized hearing care. Our exceptional audiology services and tailored treatment plans empower your journey to better hearing, ensuring compassionate support and solutions designed uniquely for you.
Protect your windshield from spreading damage with our fast, reliable stone chip repair. We fix chips early to maintain visibility, safety, and structural integrity, saving you from expensive replacements and keeping your vehicle road ready and secure.
This first period is brought to you by Oil Guard.
Charlie Buchanan, overager from Essex, Ontario, is playing in his 296th OHL game here tonight. He was brought over from the Guelph Storm. He was on a line mate with Lutsenko with Guelph.
Here those two up again, back to the boards. Had the Dallas prospect into the corner. Back into traffic. Shots on goal, London with 3. And the Brantford Bulldogs with 1. Approaching the 8-minute mark. Gone here in the first period. Played to the corner. Lit back to the blue line. Sandu, quick shot. Tipped in front of the net. Dusted just wide of the mark. Played into the corner again. Cat. Link back to the blue line this time. Down the boards. And that pass for Bannock in front of the net. Just failed to click, and back the other way are the numbers with the London Knights. Here's Ryan Brown. Pinned up against the boards. Hot boards now. Guelph or check that. Brantford will clear the zone and back to the blue line of the London Knights. Long lead pass courtesy of Mitchell. That goes all the way down the ice. And icing will be called against London.
Well, I'm impressed with the way that the London Knights are taking care of the puck in tonight's hockey game. You have this many changes in the lineup and you lose your star players, particularly the 19-year-olds in the lineup. The London Knights are keeping the game very, very simple tonight.
Here's Frasca. He'll face off against Will Neckel. Frasca, another acquisition by the Brantford Bulldogs. Here Otters. And Brantford making the trade. Here's the Knights coming back the other way. Mitchell with a quick shot into the crest of Leenders. He'll hang on.
Well, Jackson Culver is the new leader among Knights scorers with 9 goals and 28 points. Now Culver sits 5th among OHL rookie scorers. He is projected as a possible 2nd or 3rd round pick in the NHL entry draft this June.
Off the draw, Brantford will control. Lead pass, Dandy. Frasca beats the check of one man. Right side pass and across the line. They stay onside. Van Acker sends it toward the net. Picked off by the London D, and they'll emerge out through the center ice and across the line. Just onside. There's Will Neckel trying to barge his way through, and that's picked off by the Brantford D, and Prox will be pestered there by Culver on the back check. Manages to get the puck in. London will clear the zone off of Covert. Icing is charged against the London Knights.
Well, Juracek, a 1st round pick of the St. Louis Blues in 2024. He's playing out his 19-year-old season here with the Bulldogs. Certainly, you have to believe that after 2 successful World Junior Championships, he's going to get a long look from the St. Louis Blues next September.
Yeah, he was real good in the World Juniors for sure. Played off the glass. Tenko trying to waltz his way out. Off that high post, checked up by the London D. There's a quick shot, another quick shot. Front of the net, and a good save on the rebound, courtesy Alexei Medvedev.
Well, Alexei Medvedev dialed in tonight. He makes 2 big saves right here as the Bulldogs just push this into the blue paint. You can see that rebound. He gets the pad down on the ice and covers that up. The faceoff will remain inside the London zone to the left of Medvedev. The shots on goal read 4-3 in favor of London.
So everybody up and in tight. Brantford, they'll win the draw. Back to the blue line. Shot toward that high slot area. Another shot. Knights will stem it off, and they'll clear the zone. Sandu can't barge his way in. Getting taken off the puck by Bidgood. You're right, Doily B. London Knights are keeping things simple tonight. Bidgood swings it in that high slot area. Played off to the corner. Then Baumel, centering pass. Played to the corner again. Then Baumel gets knocked down. Lutsenko, good non-call there. Lutsenko takes a peek. Cross-ice feed. Now Hortra in across the line. Ustavic checks him up, and Bidgood back the other way, and he'll tap it on to the left side. In and out is Van Bommel. Holmes didn't take the bait, and it's airmailed deep into London's ice. Played around the boards. There's Buck. Lead pass. Buck starts out again. Gains the line. Shoots it in off of Zakharov. Played around the boards, and the Knights will try to keep it in, but Zakharov will tag off the near side. In across the line. Swatted in by Zakharov. Dravetsky. Lays it on for Sandu. Back to Dravetsky. He'll lead the four-man assault. And across the line. Leaves it off to the wing. London's D picks it up again, but to give it away in the shot in front of the net, courtesy of Sheena. And it's played out through to the center ice area. Off the boards again. Deep into London's territory. Banked off the glass. Bouncing puck. Hit there by Clark on Sandu. And the knock will reel in across the line. Pretty crafty as that quick shot. And he got it away. And a good stick save by Medvedev from a sharp angle. Another quick shot by the Bulldogs. That goes off the stick. Get it off to the corner. Played back along the boards. Now off the coast again. And picked off by the Knights, and they'll clear the zone. Dravetsky having difficulty. Here's Brustevich. They're onside. Hawkins. Brustevich. Front of the net. Sharp angle. Another shot. Hawkins couldn't drop the payload, and he was right off that low post. But the puck was bouncing on him, and it's sent back down into London's ice. Here's Vimas. Starting out for the Knights. Couple good looks for London as it's played in across the line, and it's offside at the Brantford blue line.
Well, Lachenko, I think he's going to go here. 2 minutes on the hold as he came up pretty hard on Fimis. As you can see, Lachenko gets behind Fimis on this play. He turns on the Jets. He takes one hand off the stick, puts it across the shoulder of Fimis. So he'll step into the box for 2 minutes. And the Knights will go on to the power play for the first time in tonight's game against the Bulldogs. Back on December 14th, they went 0 for 6 in that hockey game.
So the first power play of tonight's contest goes to the London Knights. Brantford good on the draw so far. They shoot it down the length of the ice. Here's Brustevich. Leaving it there for Cover. Back on for Will Nickel. He's an Edmonton prospect. Return feed for Cover. Front of the net, swatted free. And now we got a 2-on-1 for the Brantford Bulldogs. Juracek swings it in front of the net from Malhotra, and that just failed to materialize. Lead pass now for Nurmi. And across the line, 2-on-2, 3-on-2 developing, but the Bulldogs get back into the play and hard around the far side. Capped in by the Knights. Waslin. Juracek again will find the lane, and he'll shoot it down the ice. Finless deep in his own territory will set up shot. He'll lead it out for the London Knights. Approaching the 7-minute mark remaining here in the first period. Scoreless draw. London on the power play. High slot area. There's a quick shot. Tipped in front of the net, and it just skittered wide of the mark and played back to the coast where Waslin has it. Down low again. Watch for the return feed. Brian Brown feeds it. Waslin has the puck again. Top of the circle. In for Brown. Swings off the checking to Sandu. Takes a cross check. That one is let go. Played up top again. Waslin firing. He just missed it by a whisker. And it's played down the length of the ice again, where the Bulldogs still have 15 seconds remaining to try to kill this penalty off. 2 or 3 good looks by the Knights. Now with speed, here is Van Gore. Pete trying to barge his way through. And Holmes will clear it out through to center ice. Shot in deep. Mitchell round the boards. Sokolowski swings it up to Cook. He'll tap it on to Hawkins. In for Zakharov. Trying to go hard to the net. And he's taken out. But the Knights coming close on the power play. Still a scoreless draw. Winding down the first period.
another from Optimus TV Bingo. For a chance to win extra spending money, tune in to Optimus TV Bingo Monday nights at 8 p.m. For details on tickets, go to tvbingo.ca.
Well, the Knights applied some pressure during their power play here. They didn't score on the opportunity, but Fimis gets this shot through, and it's deflected right in front of the net as Van Gorp in the low post, but he couldn't put it past Leenders. We have 5:54 remaining here in period number 1. Shots on goal now read 8-4 in favor of London.
Yeah, London has a few on that power play. Everybody up and inside London. They'll win the draw. Back to the blue line. Bruce couldn't hold. So the Knights will have to tag up as Bruce Stevich will usher it back in. Brantford deep in their own territory. Lead pass out through to center ice for home. Check that Paquette in across the line. Benoit swings off the checking a 1-9. He'll rope the line, and Waslin will pick it up deep in his own territory and float it into the corner. Off the boards. Bidgood, centering pass, hard pass through the paint, back to the blue line. Fimis takes a peek, down low, round the base of the boards this time. Picking it up is Waslin, down in for Bidgood. Centering pass, and Fimis will keep it in. Up top, tipped in front of the net, and just went wide. And in behind the cage. Lodge back out through to center ice. That will be offside for sure.
Well, Adam Binak was the Bulldogs' first-round import pick this year. Now the Minnesota Wild picked him up in the 4th round. The 18-year-old won a silver medal at the World Juniors with Team Czechia, and he was very good in that tournament. In Minnesota, the team, you think the Wild was around to watch their prospect?
Yeah. I'll probably at every practice too, Rick, beyond the Play back out through to center ice, and picking it up is Zoo. Good young prospect for the London Knights on the backhand. Has the puck. Bump the head up. Lead it up. Back out through to his blue line. Left side pass for Nickel. He'll just rinse it in deep. Leenders round the boards again. Brantford picking it up. Zetto deep in his own territory will charge it back out through to center ice. Backhands it in across the blue line, and Prox will find his D partner Jurchak. Lead pass. Knights got a stick on that one. Van Gorp has lots of speed. Cover pretty crafty. Little dish for Zoo. Look at him go down the right side. Centering pass in front of the net for Van Gorp, and just couldn't find the blade. Van Gorp gets it back. Nickel, quick shot. Van Gorp again off that low post. And it was just a little far for him to pick it up. Van Acker clears it in. Hard pass, Van Gorp. Brantford making changes. Colbert, front of the net. And that hits Sandu, and back with numbers the other way are the Brantford Bulldogs. Played over to the far side. Here's a quick shot. Front of the net. And Medvedev got a piece of that one and sent it off to the corner. Sandu again into the glove. Medvedev will have a face-off deep.
Well, Zoo steps into the lineup for the first time with the London Knights. Of course, he was involved in that trade with the Kitchener Rangers. 6'2", 195 pounds. He plays a robust game. Former London Knights Steven Tarasuk worked on his skills with Zoo during the summer months.
Brantford winning the draw. Dennis keeping it in just. Now hold draw, hard to the net, pretty crafty. He's up for the draft this year, off the boards, and Clark has it. Head-man pass, stemmed off by Dennis, off to the wing. Brantford keeping it in, scoreless draw, approaching the 3-minute mark left in the period. That shot toward the net, off shin pad, and London will clear the zone. They are onside. There's a quick shot. Good pad save by Leenders. As Brown got a piece of that one, and Leenders up with the left pad save. A dandy. That hits Mitchell. Kept in by the Dogs again. Shot toward the net. Chance as Gravecki was lingering in that paint area. Made along the boards again. Picked off by the Knights, Zakharov, and Brown will usher it up, and he'll just gulp it in across the line. Goretzky tries to play up. He plays the back end wearing 29 for the Brantford Bulldogs. Part of the Czechia squad again. For these Dogs, 3 of them, as I mentioned before, played in that squad. Around the boards. Played out through the center ice, and Andrei will check that in off the boards again, and Sokolovsky has it for the London Knights. In behind the net. Sokolovsky starting out deep. Head-man pass onto the blade of Cook. Gets it in across the line. Picked off by Hawkins, and he'll leave it there for Dimas. Clears it back out off the stick. Now a long, hot pass up the left side. Sandu has it. And London will make some changes, and it's up along the wing for Holmes, and he'll just redirect in, and Medvedev will hang on with 1:32 remaining in the first.
Well, Tashurna goes in and makes sure Medvedev can't play that puck. A little bit of a snow shower there for Medvedev. The referee gives him a warning on the play. We have 1:32 seconds remaining in period number 1. The faceoff will remain inside the London zone to the right of Medvedev. And once again, the London Knights keeping their game very simple tonight. That's advisable when you have this many changes in the lineup in a week.
Quick shot. Oh, that was fired just wide by Van Acker after Luchenko again winning the draw. Field back to the blue line. Props with the head up. Finds his D partner in Juracek. Muscles his way past Waslin. Waslin keeping with them. Broken up by the Knights. And Good will idle it back out through to center ice. Tosses it in for himself. 2 Bulldogs gang up on him. Play to the half boards here, and Brantford will have a chance to clear the zone. Inside a minute remaining here in the first period. Scoreless draw. Dimas round the boards. London will clear, and it goes out of play.
Well, Protz plays a robust game on the back end for the Bulldogs. And certainly you have Sandu, Danford, Protz on the back end. They've built a very, very good, add Juracek into that.
Yeah.
And they built a very good top 4 in this lineup.
Yeah, Protz a Montreal draft pick. Yeah, got a very, very good back end. 4 good lines here in Brantford. 2 off the draw. We'll lob it back out through the center ice. In on the hunt, though, are the Knights. Van Gorp beats his man to the corner. Will Nickel. And now Sandu will get the gate here, Rick. Remember it was Sandu on Cowan here a couple of years back. Put Cowan out for a while. Well, that'll be out. When he was playing with the Generals. So London back to the power play.
Well, this will be a cross check. This happens down in the corner. The London Knights in on the forecheck rather quickly against the Bulldogs. And it looks like it's Sandu that's stepping into the box as he takes the stick across the lower back of Van Gorp right there and pushes him head first into the boards. That'll be a cross-checking penalty, a boarding call. You make your choice. As the Knights will go on to the power play for the second time in tonight's game. They have 20.2 seconds remaining here in period number 1.
Good draw win by the Bulldogs with only 20 seconds left, but Bruce Stavage will keep it in. Down low again. Props spins his man up against the boards. Weak attempt to clear, but it creates a 2-on-1 with 7 seconds remaining. Quick shot, and what a save by Alexei Medvedev on the 2-on-1. I believe it was Luchenko taking the shot, but the horn sounds to end the period, a scoreless draw. Stay tuned for Sophie in the first intermission. Live Ontario and Eastern Canada-wide, it's Holligal Yamaha. Night Hockey, right here on Rogers TV.
At Sumner Jewelers, we have been serving London and area since 1902. We specialize in custom jewelry designs and invite you to bring us your ideas. Trusted for over 120 years at 392 Richmond Street, between King and Dundas. For more than 26 years, Duramed Mobility has proudly served as your trusted partner in home healthcare equipment and mobility solutions. Whether you're looking to purchase, rent, or repair, our dedicated team is here to support your journey to greater independence and comfort.
Need an SUV? Finch Hyundai's got it. Need a car? Finch Hyundai's got it. Low rate financing, unbeatable deals, superb customer service. Got it, got it, got it. Visit the largest volume Hyundai dealership in Ontario. Check us out at finchhyundai.com.
Businesses across Ontario trust Oil Guard for proven rust protection.
Hi, I'm Rob from Wild Things. Every year I bring my trucks to Oil Guard because I think that rust is just another pest.
Oil Guard can help duck the rust. At IDS, we have the tools your business needs to be successful, from production printing, digital signage and content management, and full IT services. IDS allows our clients to focus on what they do best.
When I do becomes I'm done.
Talk to the family law experts at Drake Law. Divorce doesn't have to be a fight, but when there's a lot at stake, call Drake. DrakeLaw.ca.
Jeff from Chillin' and Grillin' with Jeff here, and we are back for another incredible season of Chillin' and Grillin' with Jeff. We're going to tour some amazing backyards. We're going to meet up with some great folks, and we're going to cook some incredible food. Join us Thursdays at 7:30 for Chillin' and Grillin' with Jeff.
Check it out. Now, more Ontarians qualify for the Ontario Electricity Support Program. That's right. You could get a monthly credit on your electricity bill. Apply at oesp.ca.
Do you love watching Nice Nationals hockey on Rogers TV? Be a part of the action or come work behind the scenes. We are recruiting dedicated volunteers to join our production crew. Apply online at rogerstv.com/volunteer. Welcome back. I'm here with Brantford Bulldogs forward Jet Luchenko. Now, Jet, this is your first game back with Brantford since being away at World Juniors. How does it feel to be back with this group?
Yeah, it's great. It's always fun to be back with the team, and such a great group here, such a fun time. So it's great to be back.
You had the chance to participate at the World Juniors for a second straight year. What did that experience mean to you, and how did you approach it differently the second time around?
Yeah, it's always an honor to wear that flag and represent your country. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and obviously not the result I wanted, but still a great experience.
You're a captain at Guelph before coming over to Brantford. How do you approach leadership in a new room?
Yeah, I mean, on this team we have so many leaders, so many captains from other teams, so it's pretty easy. Everyone kind of just does their thing, and the leadership kind of is just always there for us. This Bulldogs team is stacked with elite players. You mentioned it there. How does that depth help you guys night in and night out? Yeah, there's always guys on their game, and every night's a night where we can win. So it's a great experience to be a part of. You played in several games at the NHL level with the Philadelphia Flyers. What were the biggest takeaways you took from playing at the highest level? Yeah, I think kind of just seeing the day-to-day life of the best players in the world. There's a lot of things I can take from that and try and bring it to this team now. You're from London. You've done quite a few interviews here in London talking about how you grew up a London Knights fan. How do you think young Jet, who would come to this building to watch the Knights play, would think about the player, the person, and just the success that you've had now? Yeah, I would hope you would think highly of me, but yeah, it's obviously really cool. Lots of family and friends here today, and every time I come, so those are the people that help me get here. So it's always a cool experience to come home. And what are you hoping to see from your group in this next period? Yeah, I think we can just keep it coming, and the chances will come. So we're good. Thanks so much for your time, Jet. Good luck with the rest of this game. We'll be right back with some more Knights hockey here on Rogers TV after this.
You can trust Progressive Countertop to bring design to the surface in your home with beautiful Canadian-made quartz surfaces like Handstone, manufactured locally in London. Progressive Countertop is a smart choice for Canadian-made quality and expert installation.
None of us are immune to financial difficulty.
We've been helping Canadians become debt-free for over 50 years.
Together, we'll find the right debt solution
and get you back on your feet.
Call us on the phone or see us on the net. 310 Debt.
At GWB Heating and Cooling, customer comfort is their commitment. Their licensed technicians cover all home heating and cooling needs. From inspections to repairs and installation, customers trust the professionals at GWB, where quality service meets peace of mind.
Optimizing people and resources, Van Bree Enterprises combines innovation with experience to help shape communities. Providing the very best service to every partnership and every project is the driving force. The goal? To always be very Van Bree.
Hey London, did you know it's the law to have working smoke alarms?
Yes, it's the law. Working smoke alarms save lives. So get in on the action and test yours today.
And keep in touch with us by following us on social media.
For your next flooring project, choose the home team. Great Floors London and Beckham Brothers, Canadian brands trusted by the pros. Beckham Brothers brings a stunning lineup of hardwood, vinyl, and tile, with installation made easy at Great Floors London. Beckham Brothers and Great Floors, your home team.
Hi, I'm Kathleen from Hiking with Kathleen. Please join me this season where I bring you on my great adventures of hiking, paddling, and camping. And I bring you up close to wildlife as I see them on my hikes.
You start smiling. Crawling with something in his mouth. I'm trying to open my eyes, but you know what? That's how they are. They're just small. Tink, tink.
Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations with London's major teams, including the London Knights, of course, and the athletes competing near and far that are making our city proud. Professionally engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. I'd like to welcome back in Rick and Greg. Gentlemen, let's talk about the first period.
Yeah, it was great first period from the London Knights, scoreless draw. Let's take a look at that period summary brought to you by Van Bree Enterprises. Rick?
Well, there was no scoring in that first period from either hockey club, so we have a 0-0 score heading into period number 2. The Knights were 0 for 1 on the power play. They are on the power play heading into period number 2. They have 1 minute and 40 seconds to work with on that. The Bulldogs have yet to have a power play in tonight's game. London wins 59% of the faceoffs in period number 1, and the shots on goal, 10-7. Both goaltenders were tested in that first period.
Well, the trade deadline has come and gone. Now was done at noon hour today. A lot of activity over this past week. I counted them out, Rick, that since January 1st, there was 30 trades. Now, when you look back in the last couple years, the London Knights, this is my humble opinion, the London Knights in the past couple of years have been so strong. There's been not a lot of activity. The league's in more parity right now, and it showed with the 30 trades.
Well, certainly the league's in parity. There's 5, maybe 6 teams that are going to challenge for the J. Ross Robinson Cup this year. Of course, 4 teams in the Western Conference have a shot at it, or at least they believe they have a shot at it based on all the trades that were made. You have to believe that it's going to come down to Ottawa and the Bulldogs in the Eastern Conference. However, you and I believe that the Peterborough Petes are the dark horse in the Eastern Conference. They could upset somebody and derail the plan.
Yeah, 2 good teams are going to be eliminated in both conferences. We talked about it at length during the first period. The London Knights, after all those trades, were keeping it simple.
Well, they did keep it simple in that first period, and that's exactly what they have to do. They lost a lot of experience this week with the 19-year-olds exiting, and they're bringing in the young guys, 17 and 18-year-olds, to play for the Knights this season. You know they're going to play a whole lot. Keep the game simple. Just keep it going north and south, and they'll be fine.
The Knights pick up Jacob Zoo in the trade with the Kitchener Rangers. He adds youth, and he adds big and sturdy and a robust game, as you mentioned.
Well, he does have a robust game. He's been in here a couple of times this year, and we've watched him play against the London Knights, and certainly he has a physical element to the game. Now, when Julian Brown leaves and goes up to Owen Sound, you have to re-add that physical element on the back end from the Knights. Jacob Zoo is the guy that's going to do that for the Knights.
Of course, the Brantford Bulldogs, they've been very busy over the course since the summer getting ready for this season. They've added 7 players to their lineup.
Well, it's crazy the number of #1 picks in the lineup. We count 5 on the front end, first-round NHL picks. on this lineup. You have a couple on the back end, so dotted with first-round NHL picks. This team is stacked and ready for this run to the J. Ross Robinson this year.
Absolutely, they're loaded up, and of course the London Knights, they are, if you will, retooling. We don't see it very often here in London, a retooling year, but this seems to be one.
Well, we go back 24 years, and that's the last time that we saw the London Knights go to the youth, and this is exactly what they did this year. This is what experienced general managers have to do. They have to make the tough decisions, and certainly Mark Hunter and Rob Simpson, his assistant general manager, made the tough decisions this week in a rebuild, and there's nothing wrong with that if they can get these young guys to work the way they are tonight.
Well, we had some sad news in the Canadian Hockey League this week, Rick.
Well, it certainly was a sad week for the Ontario Hockey League as David Branch, the commissioner of the OHL from 79 through 2024, passed away last Sunday. Now, David dedicated 45 years to the league and developing the junior hockey brand here in Canada. Now, David had a few specific interactions with the London Knights Hockey Club. I'll highlight two that have had a lasting impact on the league. Under David's insistence and guidance, Don Brankley, the Knights trainer for 38 years, developed and initiated the OHL Trainers Association. In Branch's words, this initiative brought immeasurable benefits in terms of professionalism and getting the teams to work together. Branks has fostered a lasting tradition among our teams, and David was impartial, as evidenced by the fact that Don Brankley is the only trainer in the history of the Ontario Hockey League to receive a suspension levied by David Branch. On behalf of Rogers TV, the London Knights Alumni Foundation, I extend condolences to David's partner Patsy and his sons Barkley, Kyle, and Wade. David Branch was 77 years old.
The only thing certain in life is change. We're here for you and your family when the unexpected happens.
Getting a clear view helps prevent sewage backups and floods before they happen. Expert CCTV inspections by choice identify cracks, roots, and blockages. Staying ahead of problems, protecting infrastructure. One choice, many solutions.
Coulter's has been the family pharmacy London has trusted for over 50 years. From personalized medication advice, vaccinations, and pharmacists qualified to assess health issues. At Coulter's Pharmacy, get the customized care that is right for you. At Sumner Jewelers, we have been serving London and area since 1902. Specializing in natural and lab-grown diamonds, we invite you to share your ideas with us, and we will help bring them to life. On-street parking available at 392 Richmond Street, between King and Dundas. Vector offers recovery and performance programs to improve your quality of life. Their active therapy approach helps with pain, mobility, and strength. Located in London, Ontario, they focus on personalized care to support your wellness journey.
My name is Ryan Dyson, and I drive the number 28 Superstock at Delaware Speedway and across Ontario all summer long. You can check out our YouTube series right here on Rogers TV.
Wednesdays are for the Nationals. Watch live coverage of the London Nationals home schedule on Rogers TV. Catch the action Wednesday nights at 7 p.m.
If you live in St. Thomas, Tillsonburg, Strathroy, or Woodstock, and you have news to share, we'd love to hear from you. Email us with your community updates and be a part of the conversation. Let's have a look at the save of the period, brought to you by MNP. If your debt is out of control, you're not alone. It is London Knights netminder Alexei Medvedev. He was the busier of the two goaltenders in that first period and did a great pad save. Now for the first period scoring summary brought to you by Finch Hyundai. We are still awaiting the game's first goal. We are all tied up at 0. The London Knights outshot the Bulldogs 10-7 in that first period. The turning point of the period is brought to you by Drake Divorce Lawyers. When there's a lot at stake, call Drake. And once again, it is London Knights netminder Alexei Medvedev with a huge save at the end of that first period. The London Knights will be back in action tomorrow night here at home. That game will start at 4 p.m. and they'll host the Erie Otters. Get ready, folks. The second period is coming up next.
For more than 26 years, Duramed Mobility has proudly served as your trusted partner in home healthcare equipment and mobility solutions. Whether you're looking to purchase, rent, or repair, our dedicated team is here to support your journey to greater independence and comfort.
Need an SUV? Finch Hyundai's got it. Need a car? Finch Hyundai's got it. Low rate financing, unbeatable deals, superb customer service. Got it, got it, got it. Visit the largest volume Hyundai dealership in Ontario. Check us out at finchhyundai.com.
Businesses trust OilGuard.
We've been using OilGuard for decades as part of our preventative maintenance program. It helps keep our fleet looking new and has also helped with our resale value.
OilGuard knows how to help duck the rust. At IDS, we have the tools your business needs to be successful, from production printing, digital signage and content management, and full IT services. IDS allows our clients to focus on what they do best.
Bring the family to Pizza Hut's all-you-can-eat buffet. Fresh pizzas, pasta, and salads, something for everyone. Great taste, great time, all in one place. Pizza Hut, where family meals are unforgettable.
Preventing underground issues is better than fixing them. Choice high-pressure flushing clears gravel, sludge, and debris so storm water and sanitary mains move everything in the right direction. Confidence underground, peace of mind above. One choice, many solutions.
Check it out. Now, more Ontarians qualify for the Ontario Electricity Support Program. That's right. You could get a monthly credit on your electricity bill. Apply at oesp.ca.
Okay, back here at Canada Life Place getting set for the second period. Rick, let's take a look at the shots on goal. Brought to you by GWB Heating and Cooling.
Well, the London Knights outshoot the Bulldogs in period number 1. That was a 10-7 margin. Of course, the London Knights enjoyed one power play in that period. They have a minute and 40 seconds to start with the manpower advantage here in period number 2.
Alexei Medvedev in net for the London Knights this evening. A very, very good period for Medvedev.
Well, possibly the best period he's played since the month of December started to roll around. Medvedev has been rather cold for the London Knights in that last month, but tonight he's been on his game, and certainly he has to refine that groove that made him one of the better goaltenders in the Ontario Hockey League last year, and certainly he was one of the better goaltenders coming into this season, touted rather highly after being taken in the second round by Vancouver.
So London will have a minute 35 remaining on their power play, their second power play of this contest. 0 for 1 so far. Tabbed in across the line, hard around the base of the boards, and Clark is up with it. He'll spear it back to the blue line, picked off 2-on-1, developing here again for the Brantford Bulldogs. Bad shot, trying to go 5-hole, and Medvedev had a peek as Malhotra had a golden opportunity, and he spotted the leakage in Medvedev, but Medvedev got a piece of it. So that's a pair of opportunities the Bulldogs have had short-handed. London's power play, got to keep an eye on that. Now here's Brown. He'll bust his way in across the line, gets stood up by Holmes, peeled off to the coast, hard around the boards, and Bidgood will pick it up. Brown here on the near side. Brown. Bruce Devitt off to the wing. Here's Bruce Devitt. Quick shot tipped in front of the net by Holmes and out of play.
Well, Brady Wasslin got caught out of position at the blue line, and Malhotra beat him to the puck at the blue line, and he's away on a 2-on-1 now. Brstevich plays the middle. He takes the pass away, and you can see Medvedev had a little peek over the shoulder. He thought that Malhotra had found the 5-hole, but he got just enough of it to deflect that puck away. We have 18:50 remaining in the period, 30 seconds on the power play.
London will control the draw. Quick shot, a high rising shot. Brown, check, that's Nurmi off that high post. Chucks it on for Funk. Funk down to Bidgood. Bidgood trying to play it back to Funk. Hits the referee. That allows Brantford to clear. And Timmis will track it down deep in his own territory. Just 5 seconds remaining on the Sandu minor. Here comes Will Nickel. Penalty now has expired. High slot area broken up by Sandu, and the Bulldogs emerge with numbers. Bouncing a puck back to the blue line again. Bidgood takes his man up, capped in by Paquette. On the Bulldogs, played over here on the near side, backhanded down low, hard around the far side. And Sandu up on the play. He'll inch his way into the corner, trying to get past the man. Bulldogs out here on the near side once again. Van Acker, cross high speed, broken up by Bidgood. Finnis tracks it down, and Nurmi has the puck. He's an Islander prospect, and he'll just shoot it in deep. Broken up at the line, and Dennis will feed it on the wing. And across the line again, London's Hawkins off the boot, and he'll lead the 4-man assault. Dumps it into the corner for himself. Hawkins beats his man to the puck. Cook in on the play as well. Hard pass back to the blue line. Mitchell couldn't hold it. And the Knights Zakharov has it. 3 of them pick their way to the Brantford blue line. There's a quick shot, steered aside. Mitchell has the puck again, top of the circle. Waits, back pedals, off to the coast again. Here's Cook, quick shot! And he fired that one off the top portion of Linder's stick, and it went wide. Picked off by the Brantford D, and Dennison across the line for the Bulldogs. Here's a chance, they score! Van Acker off that high post. He goes back door. And the Brantford Bulldogs take a 1-goal lead.
Well, the Bulldogs break out on a 2-on-1 here as Dennis just brings Sokolowski in. He gets it right across, tape to tape to Van Acker. Van Acker gets that off the stick very quickly. And that's his 29th of the campaign. He leads the league in goal scoring this season, and very quickly here, the Bulldogs have taken a 1-0 lead 3 minutes and 14 seconds into this second period.
So some good pressure by the Knights. And the Bulldogs came back, and the sniper, Van Acker, the Chicago prospect, has the Bulldogs on the board with a 1-0 score. Now brought in across the line again. Brustevich tried to feed himself. Back in, centering pass. Wasling lingering in that slot area. Brustevich in and out, and Luchenko will feed it up to Rossetto. Brought in by the Bulldogs again. Benoit, that goes out. No, you're going to say it kept in. Close call. Play to the corner again. Sandu has the puck for Brantford. Back to the blue line. Ingle, high slot area. Up top again, Sandu. Brantford moving it around nicely. Quick shot off that shoulder of Medvedev, but he knocked the net off the moorings.
Well, Alexei Medvedev has been pulled in 3 of his past 7 starts. His save percentage in those 7 starts has been .853, while his goals against has been a 4.45. A rough stretch here for the Vancouver prospect, but he's played extremely well in here tonight. He's faced 9 Bulldog shots. He's made 8 saves. On the evening, we have 15:52 remaining here in period number 2. The Bulldogs out in front 1-0 on the Van Acker goal.
29 on the year, Rick, and we're still in early January. Anyway, play to the boards. Ryan Brown gets it out. Here's Nurmi on a break. Jesse Nurmi, wait, chip pass, Clark. wires it, and the great save by Leenders. That's Clark, put it right into the cross. Phillips keeping it in. He'll play it to the corner, but it's picked off by the Bulldogs. Paquette, and he'll bring it in across the line. That Zanet stays onside, bouncing puck to the corner, chopped free by Funk. And he'll feed it on the wing to Nurmi. Long right wing pass and getting back in the play. And there's Juracek again showing the stuff. Picking that one off. Paquette, quick shot. Medvedev with the save, and it's bounced back out through to the red line. Juracek making that pass, or stemming that pass off. Knight's winger was away. Here's Van Gorp taking it just inside his own blue line. Little chip pass, Bruce Stevich. Touched up, Van Gorp leaving it there. Here's a chance, Finnish shoot. Oh, he just missed. Might have hit a man. And it goes off to the half boards. Quick shot again, picked off by the Bulldog rookie. Godaris. And it's shot down the length of the ice.
Well, the London Knights keeping it simple, like we say, as Brown just chips this past Protz on the boards. Nurmi skates onto it, and he gets it across here to Clark, and Leenders gets down on time to make that save. We have 14:32 remaining in period number 2.
Everybody up and inside London. Zakharov, pretty good on the draws. Peeled back to the blue line, off the glass, and shot down the ice, and that will have enough legs for icing, and they'll drop the puck again deep in Brantford territory.
Well, Omimi, Ontario native Caleb Mitchell, he'll be one of the building blocks going forward. The 17-year-old was the London Knights' second-round pick 2 seasons ago. He played for the London Nationals last year.
Zakharov, Tesherna on the draw. Thought maybe one of them was going to get waved out of there. Zakharov, 6'6", I believe. Needs to put a little weight on. Tall young man. Played back out through the center ice. Right side pass and across the line. Bounced back out through to the London's blue line. And Mitchell once again feeding it on the right side. Broken up by Protz. He read it all the way. Tesherna in across the line, going wide on Sokolovsky. Gets knocked down with that big body. Then Mitchell leans into his man. Pried loose by Zakharov, and he'll feed it up the wing to Hawkins. Right side pass for Cook. And across the line. Stops, looks, waits. Now round the boards here on the near side. Brustevich up on the play. Pinned up against the board. Hits Hawkins' shoulder. Nickel keeping it in. Cook battling, but it bounces out through the center ice, and Brustevich once again. Brustevich sends it in deep. Galvetsky can't clear the zone. Cover has the puck for London, slides it down the boards. Nickel having difficulty, chip free, and it's sent back out to London's blue line. Hard off the boards again. Now Cover 2-on-1. Here's Cover shooting, and what a save by Leenders as Cover with the great luck. 1-0. Van Acker, 29 of them on the year. Partway through the second period. 1-0.
Culligan Water has been London Region's trusted source for drinking water systems, water softeners, and problem water solutions for over 85 years. Cleaner, better water for you and your household is easy and more convenient than ever. Culligan, water you love. At The Hearing Place, we transform lives with personalized hearing care. Our exceptional audiology services and tailored treatment plans empower your journey to better hearing, ensuring compassionate support and solutions designed uniquely for you.
After windshield replacement, we recalibrate your vehicle's ADAS to ensure precise alignment and full functionality. Restore safety features like lane assist and collision alerts for optimal performance, accuracy, and confidence every time you hit the road.
This second period is brought to you by Progressive Countertops.
Well, Henry Brustevich, the Los Angeles Kings first-round pick, is appearing in his 150th OHL game tonight. 6 of his 11 goals on the season have been scored on a London power play.
Approaching the 7-minute mark gone. Here's Brustevich, high slot. Wade shoots, and Leenders again. with a great save, and boy, Brustevich has all kinds of time in that one, Rick.
Well, that was a clean draw win by the London Knights, and Brustevich skates right through the high slot area. Now, there's not much traffic in front of Leenders, so that was an easy save for him to make, but Brustevich takes that through the slot.
Won by the Bulldogs this time, and off the glass, and Dennis watched it on the right side. Van Acker, they connected last shift. Give that Brantford Bulldog team a 1-0 lead. Here's Nickel back the other way with numbers. Culver to the corner, tapped on for Will Nickel. Nickel round the base of the boards, and it's picked up by Potts, and Culver leaned into him and pushed ahead, and the pass missed Van Acker. Icy. Brantford.
Well, and Donny Fimis is one of the leftover 19-year-olds on this London Knights squad. Of course, they need a strong back end. Fimis has had a very good year this year after winning Memorial Cup with the London Knights last season.
Van Bommel won a cup with the Knights last year as well. He's out onto the ice. Van Bommel to the corner, checking his man up. Juracek centering pass. Played off to the board. Big good in on the hunt as well. And Funk. You get a lot more presence of Funk on the back end for the London Knights. Has the puck again. Shoots it in off the boards. Juracek right in front of his own net. Almost coughed it up. And he slithers the pass right onto the tape of Banach and across the line with Dennis. Backhander lobbed it in there. As Frasca was lingering.
Well, Jacob Zhu, Kitchener's 8th round pick in 2024 from the Toronto Junior Canadiens minor hockey program. NHL Central Scouting has him rated as a 4th, possibly 5th round pick for this year's NHL entry draft. As Zhu steps into the lineup for the first time, he came over as part of the trade that sent O'Reilly and Woolley to the Blue Shirts.
Kitchener hosting the Oshawa Generals tonight up at the Odd.
6'2", 195 pounds for Zhu, and he plays a robust style of game. I know he was a fan favorite in Kitchener.
So 8 minutes, 2 seconds off the clock here in the second period, approaching the midway portion of this hockey game. A 1-0 lead for the Brantford Bulldogs. And Acker earlier in this frame from Dennis. The primary pass and play to the corner as Brantford controls the draw. Off the board, back to Sandu. Quick shot in front of the net. And Nevedev tracking him very nicely.
Well, Jesse Nurmi recorded his first 2 points of the season last Sunday in Oshawa. He scored the game-winning goal in London's come-from-behind 5-4 win. His first OHL game winner.
On the draw, played by the Knights off the boards, and now Nurmi on it. Jesse Nurmi hard to the board, stops on the dime, swings off the checking a one-man, plays it for himself into the corner. Down low to Will Nickel, little pass. Clark trying to bust his way to the net off that high post. He almost succeeded, but it's skittered off to the corner and tracked down by the Bulldogs, and they'll clear the zone. Hard in again, courtesy of Brustevich. Sandu, Brian Brown on his man, played to the corner. Busted free, Brown on it again, pretty crafty with the puck. He came over from the Sarnia Sting on the Logan Howry trade. Now back the other way, 2-on-2, Banach feeds it left side, centering pass again, right through the slot area, nobody home for Brantford, picked off by the Knights, and they're out through the center ice, and Tinko leans into his man, Cook. Set up on the wing, Banach lets it go in across the line. Dennis has all kinds of speed, right side pass for Banach. Stops, looks for a man, high slot area, Banach, Adam Banach sends it toward the net. Brantford on the move here. Revetsky with the shot right on, no problem, off a stick and into the glove of the goaltender Medvedev.
Well, this is a simple game we were talking about for the London Knights. Watch Jesse Nurmi as he protects this puck, takes it back up the sidewall, and eventually this puck will end up on the stick right there of Clark, and Clark takes it hard to the net. That's the simple game that the London Knights are going to have to play the rest of this season. That's entertaining hockey. We have 10:25 remaining here in period number 2.
Dennis will tightrope that line, lobs it into the corner, just off that high post. The Cat back down low again. Now Hotrout being tied up. Cover sets it free, can't get past it. Gravetsky played off the wing, high slot area again. Gravetsky chops it up, and Cover has it, just couldn't get the reach on it. And Paquette back the other way. Stolen there by Nickel. Nickel almost had his pocket picked, but he brings it in across the line, turns, waits, files it in behind the net. Cover with the puck, plays it in for Van Gorp. Set free, and Dennis will take a peek, and he'll lob it out for Paquette. Paquette in across the line, high slot, all kinds of room, knocked down, front of the net, off to the corner where Funk has lost his stick. Bedgood helps him out, and he'll clear the zone. Approaching the 11-minute mark. Halfway, I should say, through this hockey game. Here's the Bulldogs again, busting their way through as Freeman took a shot, and I believe Medvedev got a piece of that one from point-blank range. Juracek up on the play as well, along the boards, set free. Down on the far side, picked off by the Bulldogs. Center pass again, back tip as Bitgood nails his man, and Van Gorp has a chance to clear, and Van Bommel will lead the 2-on-2 assault. Back out through to center ice and across the line against the Montreal pick Bronx to the corner. Bitgood trying to get in there as well, and it's set free, and Juracek will track it down for the Dogs. Waits, lead pass through to center ice. Sedandi onto the blade of the left winger. Holmes with a shot, fired it wide, and Freeman up with it. Tossed to the corner to Scherner, having difficulty with that 6'8" frame of Sokolowski. Juracek spins off the checking. Look at him go. Gets home, scores! Beautiful play by the Bulldogs, and they lead it 2-0.
Well, what a play by Juracek here at the blue line as he hangs on to this puck. He gains the zone, beats 2 Knights, and then just dumps it off to Holmes, and Holmes makes no mistake. He gets that off the stick rather quickly to extend the lead now to 2-0 as Holmes from Juracek. Beautiful play by the Bulldogs to maintain the zone first off. And now Holmes gets himself in position. The thumb goes up as Juracek kept that onside.
To your point, Rick, do you think St. Louis is going to have a look at number 5?
Well, there's no doubt.
After the World Juniors and plays like that, shot into the glove, and the Bulldogs have a 2-0 lead.
Well, Ryan Brown was acquired in a trade with the Sarnia Sting in exchange for Logan Howery. Now Brown is rated as a possible 4th or 5th round pick for the NHL entry draft in June. He has a late birth date, so this is his 3rd season in the OHL.
So London with some work to do. Brantford coming out with 2 goals here in the second period. Van Acker. And now Holmes gives them 2 up on the board to London's no score. Here comes the Dogs again. They come barking back in across the line. High slot. Here's another move. Shot off the blocker. Medvedev, another shot from a point-blank range. They shoot. They score. And another goal by the Brantford Bulldogs. And who else? Juracek. And he has his Dogs up by 3.
Well, Juracek gains the zone, and the Bulldogs here as Fimis bites on that move as Medvedev makes two great saves on the play. Juracek retrieves that puck back and puts it up over top of the shoulder of Medvedev to record his 11th of the season. And in less than a minute here, the Bulldogs have struck for 2 goals, and they extend their lead now to 3-0 with 7:28 remaining in period number 2.
So it's shipped along the boards again. Brantford wanting more. Quick shot, and that's peppered right on, and Medvedev will make the save. Long lead pass. Zakharov will clear it in off his skate, and Sandu will find his D partner. Long left wing pass, and here comes the Bulldogs again. Banach dished off. Luchenko checked up by Zakharov, and it's squeezed back out through the center ice. Engel. Along with Sandu in across the line, the London line, offside.
Well, the Hamilton Bulldogs are showing us exactly what it means to have skill at this level. Juracek with a beautiful pass on the Holmes goal, and then he hangs in on the rebound and puts it up over top of Medvedev's shoulders. 2 points here in less than a minute for Juracek. His 11th of the campaign extends the lead now to 3-0.
Brantford Bulldogs, when they were the Hamilton Bulldogs, went to the Memorial Cup in 2022. They've regained some posture and look to go deep this year. Here in 26. Play to the corner. Dumped around the boards, peeled back to the blue line. Another quick shot. Oh, that ricocheted and pinballed off a couple guys in front of the net and just went wide of the mark. Bulldogs on the move here in the second period, approaching the 6-minute mark remaining here in this second frame. Bulldogs have taken over the shot department. 21 for them now to London 16. Picked off again. Here's Paquette in a cross line. Tilt, score! Front of the net. Dandy move. And the Bulldogs go up by 4 goals, and I believe it was Malhotra.
Well, Paquette makes the move here as the Knights turn this puck over in the neutral zone. And Paquette hangs on to this puck as he finds Malhotra down in front of Medvedev. Stick, and there's no problem as he goes forehand, backhand to beat Medvedev. And in less than 2 minutes, we've had 3 goals here, and the Hamilton Bulldogs out in front now, 4-0 with 6:02 remaining here in period number 2.
One of those teams, we've seen it here in London over many, many years, they can score in bunches. When you have a good squad like the Brantford Bulldogs, sent to the corner. Bedgood chops at it along the near far side, peel around the boards, and Waslin. He'd like to get going for the Knights. Zavetsky gets crunched up here on the near side. Paterna brings it in across the line. Brantford wanting more. Up on the play is young Freeman. Freeman to the net. He's an 09 draft pick. Played around, check that. Born in 09. Makes him a 16-year-old. Play back to the blue line again. Hard around. Picked off again by the Bulldogs. They're on the move. They're getting their confidence now in their legs. Sandu ready to shoot. Here's Paterna's shot. Knocked down front of the net. Rebound. Speared ahead. Left alone off that high post. And Bedgood would idle it out through to center ice. Now a high swat pass. Sokolowski. Oh! And Waslin! He couldn't drop the payload. He had to hold that to shoot at, and he didn't get anything on the shot. And he chucked it wide. So a golden opportunity for Waslin has just been like that for Waslin in the last 10 or 12 games. There's a high shot, and it goes out of play. All Brantford here, winding down the second period, 4-0.
Taylor from Optimus TV Bingo. For a chance to win extra spending money, tune in to Optimus TV Bingo Monday nights at 8 p.m. For details on tickets, go to tvbingo.ca.
Well, Merrick Van Acker, a first-round pick of the Chicago Blackhawks, leads the league with 29 goals. Now the 19-year-old from Delhi, Ontario, is playing in his 200th OHL game here tonight.
So Roslin with the good luck, and it's through 4-0. Brown off the boards, tries the centering pass, front of the net. Clark, front of the net. He couldn't get the backhander away, and Brown will keep it in. Played around the boards again. Juracek, who's been a factor tonight, up to the winger Van Acker's shot in deep. Juracek at the line, squeezes it toward the net, and Medvedev will hang on.
Well, the London Knights have played a good game in here tonight. However, the skill and age of the Brantford Bulldogs is starting to take over here late in this third period. They scored 3 unanswered goals in less than 2 minutes to take a 4-0 lead, and there's 4:05 remaining in period number 2. The Knights would just like to get out of this period, Sloney.
Yeah, Danford out, O'Brien out, Testa out too for the Brantford Bulldogs. 3 important players. A lot of depth on this Brantford team. Yeah, London needs to regroup after 3 minutes and 44 seconds. Here's a chance for Will Nickel, and he backhanded that one just wide. Boy, London's getting some opportunities. They're just not cashing in. Played up the boards again. Van Gorp. Nickel bounces it right side. Bruce Davies shoots it toward the net. Bouncing puck, and it's grabbed off a skate and sent to the corner. Levchenko, Philadelphia's first rounder. In across the line. That'll be offside if he brings it in. He has to turn back, and he'll feed Banach. Banach, return feed. Good stick there by Will Nickel. Has the puck again. Banach takes his man out. Here's Van Gorp, high slot area. Mitchell off the boards. Van Gorp in behind the net. Up against Sandu. Dished off. Cover, front of the net for Zakharov, and just couldn't get him the puck. Play back to the blue line again. Quick shot. Sokolowski. Zakharov. He lurking off that low post and goes into the glove of Leenders.
Well, Ryerson Leenders has come up with a few big saves in tonight's hockey game for the Bulldogs as the London Knights. Waslin, I look back to that one as he just misfired as Sokolowski set him up in the point, and he got to the post on that one as Zakharov had that puck come off the active backboards right to him in the blue paint.
2:42 remaining. London hard on the forecheck. Cook in there, trying to pry it loose, set free. Zakharov back to the blue line. Quick shot down low, knocked down. And Sokolowski with that long reach will pick it off, and Funk has the puck for London. 2:20 remaining, second period. 4 goals here by the Brantford Bulldogs. Van Acker started it off. Kick free. Sokolowski couldn't keep it in. Stolen by Van Acker. Stays on side. Here comes the Bulldogs again. High slot area sent toward the net. Booted up on the blade. Now a break for Sokolowski. In alone. Sokolowski couldn't get the shot away. Higgle with a great play to lift his stick. Now Hawkins with it. Leaving it there. Van Bommel off to the corner. Cook takes over. Van Bommel again. Paquette battling hard. Waslin in there as well, trying to pry it free. And the Knights up with it again. Van Bommel, Bidgood, back to Zoo. Zoo files it. Shot toward the net, courtesy of Fimis. Leaders will hang on.
Well, the London Knights and Bulldogs coming together after the whistle once again. As as it looks like it's Bidgood as Sokolowski ends up with this puck on his stick on a breakaway, and it's that little lift right there by Engel that interrupted that play, and Sokolowski couldn't corral that puck in time to get the shot away. We have 1 minute and 25 seconds remaining in period number 1, and Paquette and Bidgood step into the box. They'll have some offsetting minors here, roughing after the play. So we'll have 4-on-4 hockey for the first time in tonight's contest with 1 minute and 25 seconds remaining in the second period. The face-off will remain deep in the Brantford zone to the left of Leenders.
So a lot of ice for both hockey clubs. 4-on-4 hockey. Will Nickel up against Lutsenko. London will control Van Gorp off the checking of one man. Raskin plays it for himself off the boards. And now back the other way are the Bulldogs. We'll bring it in across the line. Set free. Shot into the glove of Medvedev. And London will start out led up by Brustevich. He'll work his way in across the line. Fades off to the board. Trying to find the high slot area. Tracked down by Dravetsky. He's has his pocket picked, and then Van Gorp in front of that got a tip, and he just dusted it wide of the mark. That goes off the skate, and Leenders with a positional save will make it.
Well, Vladimir Dravetsky is a projected second or third round pick for this year's NHL entry draft. Now, the 18-year-old won a silver medal with Team Czechia at the World Junior Championships. 3 players with silver medals on the Brantford Bulldogs.
Yeah, and a couple Canadians there too, winning bronze. And Lutsenko and Danford. Well, brought in across the line. Here's Banach. Chance for the Bulldogs again. That shot, a high rising shot, just went wide, courtesy of Sandu. Dravetsky again. Dished up and plays it up top. Tight rope for the blue line. Feeds it on for Dravetsky, and then shoveled it ahead, but the Knights will break it up. Jesse Nurmi and Zoo up on the play as well, but Banach will choke it up at the line. Brought in by Zoo. Look at him go! He's going to get a shot. He didn't get anything on it, as the horn sounds to end the period. 4 goals by the Brantford Bulldogs, and they lead it by the score of 4-0. Stay tuned for Sophie and the second intermission.
As the seasons change, GWB Heating and Cooling is there to make your home comfortable. From furnace inspections to full system installations, their licensed experts handle every detail with care. Homeowners trust GWB. Simple, honest quality.
Vector offers recovery and performance programs to improve your quality of life. Their active therapy approach helps with pain, mobility, and strength. Located in London, Ontario, they focus on personalized care to support your wellness journey.
For unparalleled construction services, municipalities, farms, and companies turn to Vambry Infrastructure. With a full range of heavy civil services, an experienced team, and diverse fleet, Vambry Infrastructure provides very bold solutions.
The London Fire Department reminds you to always pay attention while you cook.
Stand by your pan and look while you cook.
Follow us online at LDNONT Fire.
For over 90 years, Learners has served the legal needs of clients in our community. No matter the size of your enterprise or transaction, our business law group can help you grow your business, build on your success, and get the deal done.
Choose Great Floors Ingersoll and Beckham Brothers for your next flooring project. Both trusted Canadian brands. Beckham Brothers creates stunning engineered hardwood, tile, and luxury vinyl. Great Floors Ingersoll provides expert service and installation. Great Floors and Beckham Brothers, a winning team.
Hi,
everyone, my name's Emily Febry. I'm also known as Ranger M. I'm an environmental communicator and educator, and I get to talk to a lot of different people about all things nature and conservation. I love to knowledge share, and that's what I want to do with you. So come on, let's go learn with Ranger M.
Join former London Mayor Matt Brown as he hosts Newsmakers. Newsmakers discusses the key issues affecting the City of London and its residents with some of the leaders in London. Tune in to Newsmakers every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. or if you missed that viewing, Newsmakers airs again at 6 p.m. on Fridays right before the warm-up. Welcome back. I'm here with London Knights forward Ryan Brown. Now, Ryan, you're playing a very strong Brampton team tonight. What was the preparation like for this game?
I think just going into it, we can't look at them and focus on them. We just got to focus on us and do what we can control and focus on our systems and our game.
You've been in London for almost a couple of weeks now. How are you settling in so far?
Really good. It's easy when there's such a great group of staff and great group of guys around me to help me fit in.
You've mentioned how playing in front of these fans is so special for you. How much do these fans fuel this team?
It's pretty amazing. We're down 4-0 right now, and they're still on their feet, still getting loud, and I think it just helps us as a six-man on the ice to help us make a play and help us get a goal.
Your first game as a London Knight was against your former team, the Sarnia Sting. What was that experience like for you?
It's pretty weird, but I adjusted. It took some time, but it's pretty weird to step on the ice in my old rink, old team and everything, but it went well.
Something I learned about you this week that I thought was pretty cool is that you can play the bagpipes. Can you tell us how that came about?
Yeah, I went to St. Andrews College, and they have a pretty world-renowned bagpiping program there, and I thought it was pretty cool to learn it. It's such a cool instrument, and yeah, I still know how to play them, so it's pretty cool.
So to help London Knights fans get to know you a bit better, how would you describe yourself as a player?
I think I'd say a super fast, two-way, smart hockey player.
And what do you enjoy doing when you're away from the rink?
Hanging out with my buddies, hanging out with these guys. I think it makes it so much more fun than just playing the game.
One more period left in this game. What does you and your teammates need to do to get into this one?
I think just reset, don't look at the score, and just keep playing hockey, and it'll go our way.
Well, thanks so much for your time, Ryan. Good luck the rest of this game.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with some more Knights hockey here on Rogers TV after this.
Coulter's Pharmacy is the new home of London Healthcare and Ostomy Center. Our expert team provides products and advice from ostomy, wound care, compression garments, and so much more. At Coulter's Pharmacy, get the customized care that is right for you.
None of us are immune to financial difficulty.
We've been helping Canadians become debt-free for over 50 years.
Together, we'll find the right debt solution
and get you back on your feet.
Call us on the phone or see us on the net. 310-NET.
At Sumner Jewelers, we've been serving London and area for over 120 years. Our on-site goldsmiths ensure that your jewelry repairs are done in a timely manner with a company you can trust. On-street parking available at 392 Richmond Street. For more than 26 years, Duramed Mobility has proudly served as your trusted partner in home healthcare equipment and mobility solutions. Whether you're looking to purchase, rent, or repair, our dedicated team is here to support your journey to greater independence and comfort.
If you are considering divorce, talk to the family law experts at Drake Law. Find out what your options are. Divorce doesn't have to be a fight, but when there's a lot at stake, call Drake. DrakeLaw.ca.
Check it out. Now, more Ontarians qualify for the Ontario Electricity Support Program. That's right. You could get a monthly credit on your electricity bill. Apply at oesp.ca.
Optimus TV Bingo is back every Monday night at 8 p.m. Playing cards are available at multiple locations in London and are good for all 3 games. The money raise funds projects that help youth in our community. Optimus TV Bingo every Monday night at 8 p.m. on Rogers TV. I'd like to welcome back in Rick and Greg. Gentlemen, it was all Brantford in that second period.
Yeah, to say the least, the Brantford Bulldogs flex some muscle there. Rick, let's take a look at the period summary brought to you by Banbury Enterprises.
Well, the league's leading goal scorer gets things underway in period number 2 as Van Acker records his 29th of the season as he goes upstairs over top of Medvedev. And then it's Holmes on a beautiful feed here from Paquette, as that's... They seem to be out of order here, Sloaney. Yeah. But so far, the Knights have had 2 power plays on the evening. They're 0 for 2 with the manpower advantage. The Bulldogs have yet to have a power play. However, they'll start this third period with a 2-minute advantage as Bristevich took a 2-minute unsportsmanlike penalty at the tail end of that period. The Knights won 52% of the draws in that period, and they got outshot 17-10. It's now 24-20 in favor of the Bulldogs.
Well, Adam Yurchak, he's a first rounder for the St. Louis Blues. We talked about it at length, Rick, of his skill, and he sure showed it in the second period.
Well, he's a 2-time World Junior champion as he won a bronze medal last year and a silver this year. A nice spin move. Now watch him find Holmes on the backhand, and all Holmes has to do is get it off the stick quick because Medvedev couldn't get across in time. And then Juracek on this play right here, he stays with it. He picks up the rebound. He goes upstairs over top of Medvedev's shoulder for his 11th of the campaign. And the Brantford Bulldogs, they record 3 goals in 2 minutes and 7 seconds in that second period. And they take a 4-0 lead now into period number 3.
We already know this London Knight team is now a young hockey team, and they stayed with the Brantford Bulldogs in that first period. But when you have depth, and we've been accustomed to this in London, trust me, for the last 2 or 3 years and past 20 years, if you really want to know about it. But when you have a young hockey club, it's pretty hard to stave off a depth team like the Brantford Bulldogs.
Well, they keep coming at you in waves, and we've seen this over the years. Have you stated, Sloaney, that you just have 17-year-olds trying to keep up to 19-year-olds, and the difference shows in the game. The London Knights have kept the game simple in here tonight, and that's going to be their success running down the final 29 games of the regular season and into the playoffs.
They have an opportunity to really build some chemistry over the course of this back half of the season. We're fully confident they'll make the playoffs. It's who their opponent be. They maybe get passed around, you never know. But at the end of the day, it's an opportunity to gel as a hockey team. Now they know who they are.
Well, now they know that they're going to be playing as well. The players that are left behind, they're 17 and 18 years old. These are the kids that the Hunters plan to build around going forward. So they know they're going to get ice time. They know they're going to play, and they know they're going to be well coached. So these players are in a great position right now.
And you talked about it at length. We've seen it in the first period. Just keep the game simple. We've seen that in the first and in parts of the second. Again, when you bunch up a good hockey club, you know they're going to score, but that's the key, is to build a squad.
That is absolutely the key for this hockey club right now, is to build from the ground up and let these young guys play and get in situations that they maybe wouldn't have gotten into if the London Knights had kept O'Reilly, had kept Woolley, had kept Julian. So all those players that were traded away this week were eating up the ice time. The young guys are going to get that ice time now.
A couple bright spots. Of course, Medvedev back on his game. He's played well, even though his forwards got past him.
He's played extremely well in here tonight. 17 shots in that second period, and a lot of them golden scoring opportunities as Medvedev comes up with big save after big save. You'll notice that it's the rebounds that are getting past Medvedev when they catch him out of position. So Medvedev has played extremely well in here tonight, in spite of the fact that the Bulldogs have scored 4.
We'll talk about Brady Roslin real quick. Good hockey player, pure goal scorer. He's having trouble, though, finding the back of the net. It was displayed in that second period when he had the golden opportunity.
Well, Sokolovsky put it on a platter for him, and all Wasslin had to do was hit the net. Wasslin misfired on the shot. Now, he's gone long stretch here. 1 goal in 14 games for Wasslin. And that's tough on a goal scorer who's brought in to do exactly that. So Brady Wasslin might be gripping that stick a little bit tight. He's going to have to find a greasy goal at some point.
Back to you, Sophie.
Thank you, gentlemen. We'll be right back with some more Knights hockey here on Rogers TV after this.
Need an SUV? Finch Hyundai's got it. Need a car? Finch Hyundai's got it. Low rate financing, unbeatable deals, superb customer service. Got it, got it, got it. Visit the largest volume Hyundai dealership in Ontario. Check us out at finchhyundai.com.
Drivers trust Oil Guard London for proven rust protection.
We use Formula 2 No Drip from Oil Guard. We love it because it doesn't make a mess and it works.
30 minutes at Oil Guard for year-round peace of mind. At IDS, we have the tools your business needs to be successful, from office printing to communications and full IT services. IDS allows our clients to focus on what they do best.
Homeowners and designers trust Progressive Countertop, a Canadian company. They carry the best-owned surfaces like Handstone Quartz, proudly manufactured in London. With expert design services and installation, you can bring design to the surface with Progressive Countertop.
When the temperature and air quality in your home aren't quite right, GWB Heating and Cooling can help. Their licensed technicians provide top-notch furnace maintenance and full system installs for a comfortable, fresh home. GWB, serving the London St. Thomas area.
I'm Heather from Optimus TV Bingo. For a chance to win extra spending money, tune in to Optimus TV Bingo Monday nights at 8 p.m. For details on tickets, go to tvbingo.ca.
After a night out with your friends, there's always options for getting home safely. You could call your BFF, your mom or dad, whoever you can count on for a safe ride home. You could call your favorite cab company or 1-888 taxi guy. Or you could use the Arrive Alive smartphone app to help you choose your ride. Be it a friend, transit, or taxi, getting home safely is app easy. Now available for iOS and Android devices. Visit arrivealive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
Tune in to the Paul Harper Show on Jack 102.3 weekday mornings from 6 to 10 a.m. Jack 102.3, 80s, 90s, more. Let's have a look at the save of the period, brought to you by MNP. If your debt is out of control, you're not alone. And it is Brantford Bulldogs netminder Ryerson Leaders with a huge save there. Now for the second period scoring summary, brought to you by Finch Hyundai. It was all Brantford in that second period. And Acker picked up the icebreaker tonight for the Bulldogs. Holmes made it 2-0. Jaracek scored Brantford's third goal of tonight's game. And then Matt Holstra made it 4-0. The Bulldogs outshot the Knights 17-10 in that second period. The turning point of the period is brought to you by Drake Divorce Lawyers. When there's a lot at stake, call Drake, and it is Brantford's second goal of the game. Jaracek makes a great move there on Van Bommel. He finds Holmes, who makes no mistake, puts the Bulldogs up by 2. The London Knights will be back in action here at home tomorrow evening. They'll host the Erie Otters. The game will start at 4 p.m. Get ready, folks. The third period is coming up next.
From landscaping and agriculture to municipal works, reliable aggregates deliver lasting results. VB sources from their own sand and gravel pits, ensuring quality and consistency for projects of all sizes. VB Sand and Gravel, delivering the very best.
Carbon monoxide is a deadly gas you can't see, smell, or taste.
Homes with fuel-burning appliances and/or attached garages must have working CO alarms installed on every level of the home.
Install working CO alarms today.
It's the law.
Get an inside look at your sewer lines with a hand cam inspection from Choice. Check the health of your pipes and find any problems before they become disasters. Because no one wants raw sewage back up in their home or business. One choice, many solutions.
None of us are immune to financial difficulty.
We've been helping Canadians become debt-free for over 50 years.
Together, we'll find the right debt solution
and get you back on your feet.
Call us on the phone or see us on the net. 310-NET.
For your next flooring project, check out Beckham Brothers at Great Floors St. Thomas, both trusted Canadian brands. Beckham Brothers creates stunning engineered hardwood tile and luxury vinyl. Add expert installation with Great Floors St. Thomas. With Great Floors and Beckham Brothers, you win.
The regulars, the guys who keep this place in business. Last week, they had something to celebrate. Jason had just finished university, so they toasted his profs, his TAs, his old roommates. Well, they toasted just about everyone. But I worry about and take care of my guys. So even when I know they're not driving, sometimes that means bringing them a little surprise. And then they had a drink to me.
Brought to you by Smart Serve Ontario and Arrive Alive, Drive Sober.
Okay, back here at Canada Life Place, getting set for the third period. Rick, let's take a look at the shots on goal, brought to you by GWB Heating and Cooling.
Well, the Brantford Bulldogs outshoot the London Knights in that second period, 17-10. They take a 4-0 lead into period number 3, as 3 of those goals were scored in 2 minutes and 7 seconds in that second frame. And the Bulldogs will be on the power play to start this third period as Henry Brstevich took an unsportsmanlike penalty right at the tail end of period number 2.
So we've been talking about being simple, and if you're looking at it from a London Knights perspective, you just mentioned it. Brantford scored all those goals within, 5 minutes or so?
3 of them in 2 minutes and 7 seconds as Brstevich is in the box. And the Bulldogs go on to their first power play of the evening. They'll have a full 2 minutes to work with here on a clean sheet of ice, and it'll be a 4-on-3 manpower advantage as Bidgood and Paquette remain in the box. They took penalties earlier on in that third period. They have 35 in that second period. They have 35 seconds remaining on their penalties.
So a little 4-on-3. A lot of ice out there, and of course Juracek along with Banach. In across the line, Van after 29 goals on the season, dished off to Juracek, high slot area. Quick shot by Lachenko, and he got it just wide. And it rolls all the way back down into Brantford territory. 10 seconds remaining on the offsetting minor. Here comes the Bulldogs again. And Acker off to the wing. Good stick by the veteran Clark to stem that one off. And it's punted back all the way back down into Brantford territory once again. Juracek waits, he'll dish it off, and now the Dogs come barking back the other way. Van Acker and across the line, half boards back to the blue line. Linked over here on the far side, picked up. And the Bulldogs again, high slot area. Banach waits, off to the wing again. Couldn't get the shot away. Now Malhotra right in front of the net, and he peeled it off skate, and it's skittered off to the corner. Here's Lachenko again in front of the net. That goes off a skate and sent over to the half boards. 40 seconds remains in the minor to Brstevich. Juracek shot, knocked down, front of the net, half boards once again. What a pass in front of the net again. Through the high slot area, and the feed to Van Acker off that high post just didn't connect. Now he has it again. Tried to go through the legs. Didn't materialize, in the Chicago prospect again. Down low in behind the net. Van Acker takes a peek, front of the net. Van Acker stabs at it and picked off, and we'll get a stoppage in play.
Well, the London Knights doing a good job of keeping the Bulldogs on the outside. They're trying to find Van Acker on the back door, and that failed on 2 occasions. There's 13 seconds remaining on the penalty to Brstevich, so the Bulldogs remain on the power play. This is their first of the evening, and the Knights, all kinds of new bodies on the ice killing penalties tonight.
Hard off the boards, the Knights Went over 50% of the face-offs in that second period, so and we are back to 5-on-5 hockey, so the Knights do it. No damage done there. Chance in front of the net. Praska try to boot it up on the blade. Picked off by Mitchum, and he'll lead the four-man assault. Back out through to center ice where Brustevich gets turned around, and that will allow Praska down the boards. Long right-wing pass for the speedy Dennis. Couldn't catch up with it. And you talk about speed. Here's Van Gorfen across the line. Quick shot, and that was played off the blocker. Leenders and sent over to the far side. Dumped around the boards once again. Bulldogs out through to center ice. They'll just lob it into London's territory. Jacob Zoo after it. The cat on him. Crunches him up against the boards, and Zoo will take a number. Here's Funk. In behind his own net. Zoo, Funk. They've been playing together all night. Bedgood spears it ahead for himself. Now quick shot, courtesy of the Knights winger. I believe that was Van Bommel into the crest of the Leenders.
Well, Bedgood out of the lineup earlier this year and for an extended period based on an injury. And Bedgood, 7 goals and 18 points in a London Knights uniform so far this season.
He was hot during the first portion of the year. Tailed off, had that injury. And we'll get a stoppage of play at the center ice area.
Well, Rene Van Bommel, he's committed to play at Lake Superior State at some point in the future. Van Bommel has an overage season of junior hockey remaining. He played deep in the lineup last year. He'll have to move up this year.
So London will have a face-off deep in the Brantford territory. Thundering pass in front of the net, and Bedgood, he couldn't find the back of the net as he shanked it wide. Boy, that's 4 good looks by the London Knights in this hockey game. We could have a different result here. With 3.5 off the clock here in the third period. 4-0 Brantford. But London's missed at least 3 good looks where they've had empty nets. Shot into the corner and behind the net now. Holmes with the puck. He has a goal tonight. Freeman tracks it down and give way to the Dean. Brantford will set up shop deep in their own territory. 4 on the clock here in the third period. 4-0 for the Brantford Bulldogs. 2 points behind the Ottawa 67s who lead the Eastern Conference. At center ice, Rossetto will just get it in across the line, and it's sent over on the wing, and head-man pass off the blade of Zakharov. Expect big things from number 71 in his back portion of the season for the London Knights. And Zakharov played back down in the London's ice, and Fimbas has the puck. Long right wing pass for Cook. He'll tab it in deep off the tip of his stick, and Protz will pick it up. Juracek starting out deep in Brantford territory off the bench. Boy, that could be too many men, or is it? No.
I believe that's what they whistled down, and the direction from the official here is they did catch that as the Brantford Bulldogs with a late change there as they end up with a too many men on the ice penalty, and the Knights will go on to the power play for the 3rd time in tonight's contest. So far they're 0 for 2 against the Bulldogs. They went 0 for 6 in game number 1 back on December 14th. So they're 0 for 8 on the season. This is their 9th opportunity as the face-off is to the right of Leenders as Jesse Nurmi will step in to the face-off dot as the Bulldogs send over a player to serve the too many men on the ice penalty.
Nope, Van Acker. So Van Acker in the penalty box. London has yet to score in 5 periods against the Brantford Bulldogs this season. Lost 2-0 in Brantford on December 14th, and we're 2 periods in, plus on this one. Now Brantford back the other way. Here they come, and a good stick by Bruce Devich to negate that opportunity. Now Holtraw's stick was knocked out of his gloves on a good play by the LA pick, Bruce Devich. He has the puck now. He'll leave the 4-man assault, 5-man assault. As Cover feeds it on the right side, but broken up by Mel Holtra again. Schenkel stops, fades off the checking of 1 man. Cover has it for London, and he'll feed Bruce Devich. Bruce Devich coming up on the play is Jesse Nurmi. Bidgood waits down low. Sandu picks that one up. Bidgood to the corner, lost control, and it's sent back out to the London blue line. Right side pass, Bidgood swings it in deep. Cover after, played to the corner. Tracked down by Ryan Brown. Back to the blue line. Nurmi hard off the boards for Ryan Brown. Good interview with Sophie Quick. Shot, scores! Ben Gorp! Or is it Nurmi? It's Nurmi who scores for London, and it's 4-1.
Well, the London Knights do a nice job of moving this back down as Ryan Brown just flips this pass to Bulldogs, and Jesse Nurmi gets that off the stick and behind Leenders to record his 2nd goal of the season, his 2nd goal in as many games. As Jesse Nurmi, the New York Islander prospect, 2 goals on the season. He played 12 games earlier this year for the Worcester Nailers in the East Coast Hockey League.
Just get finishing the second, and London hasn't scored 5 periods, and they put one up on the power play. Not Van Gorp, Jesse Nurmi. 2nd goal of the season. Right side pass for Roslin. In across the line, trying to get past the D, then he crushes his man up against the boards. Went out 2-on-2, in across the line, checked up by Van Gorp, gave the puck away. Roslin tracks it down, and he'll rev it up down the left side. Here's Roslin. He gets taken down, and Van Gorp in front of the net. Chance for Fimis. Lost control. Brings it back to the line. Quick shot, front of the net. Clark tries to track it down. Fimis up on the plays. He inched his way in, and back the other way is Benoit. Leaving it there for Van Acker. He was going the other way. And now Van Gorp steals from Dravetsky. Van Gorp hard to the net, gets taken out. Now the Bulldogs try to lug it out to their own blue line. Here's Holmes, lobs it in deep. Played to the corner, Sokolowski on for Funk. Linus Funk peels it up the boards for Cook. Can he beat him out? Nope. Icy. Against the London Knights. Jesse Nurmi has the Knights up on the board. A power play goal here in the 3rd period.
Culligan Water has been London Region's trusted source for drinking water systems, water softeners, and problem water solutions for over 85 years. Cleaner, better water for you and your household is easy and more convenient than ever. Culligan, water you love. At The Hearing Place, we transform lives with plans, empower your journey to better hearing, ensuring compassionate support and solutions designed uniquely for you.
Windshield replacement you can trust. Cracked windshield? We've got you covered. We replace windshields for all makes and models in our shop or wherever your vehicle is located. We're open late 7 days a week for your convenience. From a team you can count on.
This 3rd period is brought to you by Greek Floors. So Jesse Nurmi on the power play for 1 Brantford. Now the Knights bust in across the line. Holmes takes his man off the puck, and it's stretched over to the wing. Through to center ice. That'll be offside for sure. Rossetto clears it in deep, and Sokolowski mops it up deep in London's ice. Up the boards. Here's Zakharov. Feeds it on the wing for Cook. He gets checked up to Sherna. Trying to get in a shooting position. Centering pass front of the net. Zakharov in a good defensive role. Took his man out to negate that opportunity. Here's Sokolowski. Leading it out through to the red line. Cook in across the line. Hawkins in on the hunt. Played around the boards for Juracek, and he'll clear the zone, and Bruce Stevich picks it off. Lead pass at the line. Here's Hawkins shooting it, and it just went what? In front of the net off that high post. Off the boards, and Mitchell couldn't get anything on that shot, and it swept back out to the blue line, but kept in by the Knights. Swung in front of the net, and Hawkins couldn't catch up to that pass. Played back in deep. Broken stick out there. Here comes the Brantford Bulldogs, Sandu. Sandu, of course, a former Oshawa General. Shot toward the net. Originally drafted, I believe, by the Guelph Storm. Now peeled up to the wing, and bid good. In across the line, stutter step, swings it in front of the net, and Mitchell couldn't catch up to that hot pass. Bid good behind the net now, trying to center it out. Chance, London shot, right on. As Culver peppered that one into the crest of the Bulldogs. And Leanders makes the save.
Well, the London Knights move this puck around rather nicely. It ends up on the stick of Culver in the slot area. And Leanders comes out to make that save. That's the 24th shot he's faced in here tonight from the London Knights. He's made 23 saves on the evening. Leanders has looked very good and comfortable in the Brantford goal in tonight's hockey game.
Shots are close, 26 for the Bulldogs, 24 for the Knights. Back out through to the red line. Rinsed in deep again. Around the dasher. Brantford D will try to clear the zone. They gave the puck away, though. London with some pressure here in his third frame. Lead pass again. Back out through to the red line. Dumped in across the line. Van Acker, 29 on the season. That Brantford started out on the goal production tonight. Through to center ice is Waslin, picking his way to the Brantford blue line, in and out on his man. Behind the net, looking for a man, Jesse Nurmi. Turns off the checking, Nurmi parked in front of the net. Sue trying to feed it for Nurmi, and it hit a stick. Here's Nurmi again. Linked back to the blue line. Brown, quick shot. Here's Ryan Brown again. Sandu's lost his stick on the dime. Plays it back to the blue line. Lit over here to Phillips. London with pressure. Phillips tight ropes it, chokes it up. Brantford back the other way. 2-on-1. Van Acker. The good stick by Phillips to stem that one off. Brought back out over the blue line. Chiseled to Waslin. Waslin hard to net. Couldn't get the shot away. And both players crash into the net.
Well, Waslin does a good job of trying to protect this puck, but Protz does a great job of getting back into position here as he knocks Waslin off his feet right there, and it's got the inside shoulder inside of Waslin, so he couldn't take the cut and couldn't get the stick across to take a forehand shot. Leanders hangs in there. A good opportunity. That's about the third opportunity tonight for Waslin, as he's still looking for that elusive goal, as he came to London and scored 9 goals in his first 12 games. He's got 1 in his last 14.
Yeah, he's been snake bitten a bit, to say the least. Well, London's coming out this third period with some jam here. They'll have some opportunity here, possibly, as the faceoff is deep in Brantford territory. They'll control the Bulldogs. Protz has the puck. Will clear the zone, and a bouncing puck will go on to the blade of Sokolowski. Protz sets it free for himself. Boy, couple nifty moves. Finally chokes it up at the line, and it's brought in. They're going to say that's onside. Here's Cook again, backpedaling, centering pass out front, and Protz will take over, and he'll clear the zone. Well, the Bulldogs in across the line again. Malhotra to the corner. Picked off, and Malhotra again has the puck. He's pretty crafty. Waits. What? Toe drags in that slot area. Now another shot by Lachenko. Off and ship back in front of that low post. And look at Medvedev off that low post. Took away the opportunity from Freeman. Played around the boards again. Here's Brustevich. Front of the net. Knocked down. Another chance as Hawkins takes it to the corner. Centering pass. Front of the net. Chance for the Knights. And now Brustevich peppering it right into the pads of the goaltender Leenders. And feverish action here in the third period as the Knights are pouring it off. Played off to the wing. Dennis trying to feed his man. Bidgood tracks it down. Frasca mops it up for the Bulldogs, and he chokes it up. Here's Zakharov. Cover, nifty move in front of the net, and he couldn't get the shot away. Another centering pass, and Sandu hard around the boards. Dennis. Brustevich up on the play. Frasca clears the zone, and Banat will work his way in across the London blue line. Mitchell tracks it down. 2-on-1. Here's Mitchell in across line. Waits. Siphons it in for Bidgood and the backhander, and Leenders rather with the splendid save on the 2-on-1. Boy, Mitchell took a run at Dennis. Here's a chance for Dennis. Now there's going to be a penalty. I believe it's going to Mitchell. He, I think, stuck his leg out on that play.
Well, indeed, Mitchell is making his way off to the penalty box right here. As right there, as you see, Dennis tries to cut across the blue line. Mitchell sticks the leg out. He'll go 2 minutes on the knee. And the Bulldogs will go on to the power play for the second time in tonight's game, the second time here in this third period. As this has been entertaining hockey here, as the London Knights have had a bit of a pushback against the Bulldogs. But now they're on the penalty kill against the #1 power play unit in the Ontario Hockey League. They operate at a 34% efficiency. They're 0 for 1 tonight.
So the big guns out for Brantford on this power play. They want to take control and momentum back in this hockey game. On the power play. Knox slings it down low. Van Acker. Malhotra feeds it in front of the net and picked off by Zoo, and he'll clear the zone. Timothy Jacob Zoo on the back end. They'll anchor the D. Bidgood. And Jesse Nurmi for the Hunters Knights. Here's Brantford out through the center ice. Juracek off to the wing. Banat will clear it in deep. Jenko up on the plate. Linked back to the blue line. Too far, and Banat will have to track it down. Here's Banat. Feeds one man, feeds it. Van Acker, quick shot off a stick. Zoo got a piece of that one, but still Medvedev with a good save. Off the coast again, down low. They'll play some catch. Watch for your check down off that low post. That hot pass was fed for Lachenko, going back the other way is Zoo. He'll pick his way to the line. Little siphon pass in for the winger Bidgood. And again, the same play to Bidgood, and he shanked it wide. Another backhander tip went wide. Funk over to Zoo. Zoo will just clear the zone, and it's down the length of the ice. Just 30 seconds remaining on the minor to Mitchell of the London Knights. Inside of 6 remaining in the third period. A 3-goal bulge for the Brantford Bulldogs. All the damage came in the second period for Brantford. Now high slot area, gunned wide of the mark, played to the corner, linked back to the line again. Dennis tight ropes the blue line, leaving it there. Broken up by the Knights, Van Bommel. Gravetsky can't find anybody, and Paquette will just play it deep for himself in his own territory. Penalty now has expired. We're back to 5-on-5. Well, Dale Hunter being down 3 goals, pulls goaltender here. Off to the wing. Van Gort speeds in across the blue line, plays it in behind the net. Here's Brown, centering pass, front of the net. Cover falls, knocked down. Van Gort to the corner, bats it free. Centering pass again, knocked down. And Brown will pick it up again. Ryan Brown, a skillful winger for the London Knights. Now Brown once again. Bulldogs making changes. Hurled in by Brown once again. Cover up on the play. Now Brown to the bench, and that will allow the Bulldogs to clear the zone. Holmes shoots it in deep. Sokolowski plays it on for Fimis. 4:15 remaining in regulation. Bounce back out through the center ice into Scherner. Holmes will work their way in across the line. Centering pass in front of the net and tracked down by the overagers. And Hawkins, he'll scamper down the wing. Cook with it, hard off the boards, in for Hawkins. He's crunched. Waslin high, short side shot off the shoulder of Leenders. Across the line is Holmes. Bouncing puck getting picked up nicely by Zoo. Zoo off the boards for Waslin. And across the line, oh, Waslin fan on the pass as Hawkins was in all alone. And Waslin couldn't get him the puck. Dumped in behind the net. Brantford trying to simmer things down for themselves as they only have 3:12 remaining in regulation, up by 3. Here they go. Prox slowly out to his own blue line. Van Acker in across the line. Lachenko. Zoo. Lachenko pinned up against the boards. Lift back to the line once again. Prox down low. Paquette. High slot area. Broke it up. Played to Paquette again. Your check. Quick shot. He had that corner labeled and just missed by Oskar. Played to the corner again. There's Biggood, who's had 3 good opportunities tonight. Couldn't cash in on any of them. Dumped in behind the net. 2:30 remaining. London taking refuge, setting up the game plan here. With numbers, they emerge. Picked off, though. Van Acker steers it to the London blue line. Sokolowski in behind his own net, being chased down by Paquette on a long ship. And now the Knights will tee it up again. Here's Funk. Deep in his own territory, strings it up on the right side, hits his stick, and Funk once again, and we're inside of 2 remaining here in the third period. Taking it home here in time. No break as we're under 2, and Rick London coming back here in the third of it.
Well, London has played an effective game here in the third period. They've opened things up a bit because we're 2 seconds under the 2-minute mark, we couldn't take the TV timeout, but both teams are at their respective benches. Medvedev now taking the helmet off as he's heading towards the London bench as the officials. Oh, now the timeout has been called by one of the hockey clubs. And they'll drop the puck in to the right of Leenders in the Brantford zone. Medvedev remains in the net. We have a 4-1 score with 1:58 remaining here in period 3. The only goal scored in this period was scored by the New York Islander prospect Jesse Nurmi, as Medvedev now heads to the bench.
So an empty net for the Bulldogs. 6-on-5. London down by 3. Inside of 2 remaining. Third period regulation time. Centering pass out front. Kept in by Brustevich. Linked over on the far side. Brustevich will play some catch with Ryan Brown. Brown, far point. Again, Brown. Front of the net. And the shot by Jesse Nurmi hits a skate and sent off to the corner. Hard off the boards. Dumped free. Dennis trying to track it, and I believe it went into the bench.
Well, Brady Waslin, a Campbellville, Ontario native, is a potential 2nd or 3rd round pick for the NHL entry draft. Now, Wasselin and Culver will skate in the top prospects game in Peterborough next Wednesday, the 14th, at the Memorial Center. 1 minute and 24 seconds remains. This is what you like to see from head coach Dale Hunter, pulling the goaltender with a young hockey club.
Wasselin shooting it, and a clean win by the Knights, and Wasselin with the shot, he peppered it, and Leaner's got a piece of it. Here's Wasselin again in front of the net, but Prox tracks it down, plays it over to the wing. Now a chance, knocked down by Ryan Brown on a great stick. In behind the net is Bruce Devick. He'll lead the six-man assault. Here's Jesse Nervy, lifts it in right on the stick of Prox, and Wasselin will leave it for Bruce Devitt. Inside a minute, 45 to be exact remaining. Shot right on. Leanders knocked down front of the net as Bruce Devitt took a run at it. Here's Bidgood off the boards. Bidgood, hard of that, swings it up front, chance in front of the net for Nermy, and he can drop it. As Leanders will make the save.
Well, Leanders comes up with a really big save after he tried to score a goal on the empty net at the far end. That was knocked down by Brstevich. As Brstevich shoots this in, you can see Leanders steps it down for himself. Brstevich is the one that shot that in. He was the first one in on the puck. He didn't want Leanders to score that goal on his shoot-in. We have 32.3 seconds remaining.
Almost looked like a football play. Front block or something. Played in deep. Round the boards again. Quick shot in front of the net. And the Knights are having a great third period here. Well, the Bulldogs will bring it in across the line. A little tap in front of the net. 10 seconds remains. Lead pass. And here's Zakharov in across the line. Will they get another shot? They do. And it just lobbed off to the corner. And that will do it, as now Sokolowski, his big frame, and horn sounds to end this hockey game. Javetsky in there, Cook in there, Sokolowski. Cook has lost his helmet. Zakharov, Sandu, of course, and I think calmer things will prevail. The Brantford Bulldogs take the London Knights tonight by the score of 4-1. Stay tuned for Sophie and the postgame. Holy Golly Yamaha Night Hockey, right here on Rogers TV.
Bring the family to Pizza Hut's all-you-can-eat buffet. Fresh pizzas, pasta, and salads, something for everyone. Great taste, great time, all in one place. Pizza Hut, where family meals are unforgettable.
If you are considering divorce, talk to the family law experts at Drake Law. Find out what your options are. Divorce doesn't have to be a fight, but when there's a lot at stake, call Drake. DrakeLaw.ca.
Coulter's has been the family pharmacy London has trusted for over 50 years. From personalized medication advice, vaccinations, and pharmacists qualified to assess health issues. At Coulter's Pharmacy, get the customized care that is right for you. You can trust Progressive Countertop to bring design to the surface in your home with beautiful Canadian-made quartz surfaces like Handstone, manufactured locally in London. Progressive Countertop is a smart choice for Canadian-made quality and expert installation. Vector offers recovery and performance programs to improve your quality of life. Their active therapy approach helps with pain, mobility, and strength. Located in London, Ontario, they focus on personalized care to support your wellness journey.
At IDS, we have the tools your business needs to be successful, from office printing to communications and full IT services. IDS allows our clients to focus on what they do best.
Everybody knows not to drink and drive, but some people still think it's okay to take drugs and drive. Police have the authority, the ability, and the tools to determine if drivers are impaired by legal or illegal drugs. And because drug-impaired drivers can pose just as great a risk as drunk drivers, they face the same penalties, like the loss of their driver's license, a criminal record, mediation of chiefs of police, and Arrive Alive Drive Sober.
Tune in to the Paul Harper Show on Jack 102.3 weekday mornings from 6 to 10 a.m. Jack 102.3, 80s, 90s, more. I'd like to welcome back in Rick and Greg. Gentlemen, the London Knights played till the very end of that game.
Yeah, they sure did. Great effort by the Knights in the third period, but Brantford wins.